Here is Danny, and today with a special Visceral Games episode of Scrapped Features of Battlefield. Did you know they wanted to make an Eastern Front Battlefield game? But first I want to talk about the sponsor of today's video, Opera GX. A piece of software that likes to call itself a gaming browser. So what makes it a gaming browser, you may ask? Does it have fancy RGB lighting? I don't think so, but it does have something built in to keep performance in check. Everyone knows that other browsers can be a bit RAM heavy. You feed it some RAM and it directly takes the whole plate. Well, with Opera GX you can actually set how many system resources the browser eats. For example, I can set it to an all-you-can-eat buffet with the max system memory, of which I got, which is 32 GB. Or I can limit it to only 500 MB in total. But I can also select how many CPU cycles it can get. And in a game like Battlefield 2042, which loves to eat CPUs for breakfast, that can be pretty useful. There's also a network limiter, so a download of your favorite packet pictures doesn't hook up your precious bandwidth while gaming. It also has some other toys, like integration with different services like Twitch to see who is live, WhatsApp to see what your friends are doing, Discord to spam your internet friends, and Twitter to read all my amazing tweets. It also has Spotify and a built-in ad blocker, just don't use lasting on me. You can also force dark mode on every page. For once, your eyes won't burn like the sun in Battlefield 3 when you open a site that is stuck in 1996 and doesn't have a dark mode built in. It also has the GX corner, which shows the upcoming game releases and what's hot in the gaming world. Interested? Download Opera GX from the link below and I will guarantee that an angel does it again. Okay, back to the scrapped features of the Battlefield franchise. Going from maps to features to other oddities. All thanks to Hardline developer Thaddeus Sasser. Like, did you know a map in Miami was planned? It had two controllable drawbridges that crossed the river in the middle of the map, with car chases and jumps all over the place. It was also a tall city map out downtown, with a mall on one side, a big ship in the river that you could fight on, and more bigger buildings on the other side. Mr. Sasser said that it had a lot of potential, with him even making a trailer in order to save it. I guess it failed. It did sound like it could be a really good map, to be honest. Next, the block used to be way more circular with more buildings to enter and elevation changes, and was supposedly really good. The final version of the map was a bit more of a meat grinder for the Metro folks. Might be a bit more comparable to The Beat, a DLC map that released after it. Ironically, that DLC also had its own Metro map set in a mall. Talking about that, the mall map named Black Friday had rideable segways a la Mall Cop. It was scrapped because QA kept driving over people on the escalators. It was even more overpowered because players could have a riot shield active on the back or on the front, which would have made for a pretty powerful roadkill machine. The Hollywood Hills map used to be way bigger, with the area behind the mansion being huge. But they slimmed it down for better flow, and even now there's already a lot of unused space on top of the map. I mentioned this before in a separate video, but there would have been a 5th DLC at some point focused around films. And one of the teams were ninjas, with proper ninja models being made. The map Cistern used to have one really big choke point. Mr. Sasser noted that to the level designers and they didn't agree. He showed them in game by going 30-0 by just using tripwires during the playtest, and it got fixed at last. During some variations of the heist game mode there were 8 bags in total, which would have become total chaos and unfun. So they eventually, after a lot of iteration, came to 2 instead. Meanwhile, Blood Money is basically the same from the moment it was designed to what we can play now, minus some small score changes. Someone didn't actually like that, it didn't need any iteration, and wrote a huge design document that would add 7 extra game modes. I think it could have been something like Grand Operations, where multiple modes were linked together. We will probably never find out. And as last, Visceral Games at some point after Battlefield Hardline pitched an authentic World War II Eastern Front game. It was never made. I guess EA was like, yeah, historical shooters don't sell, and that was before Battlefield 1 went on to become the best selling game in the franchise. It would have been more authentic than what we have gotten after Battlefield 1. And knowing Visceral, it would probably work at launch too, unlike Battlefield 5 and 2042. But hey, that is all I got for now. Subscribe for more. Thanks to opinionated for sponsoring the video. This was Danny and I see you on the battlefield.